Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance. No contribution with this video. Full disclosure, I am pretty loopy on pain meds right now. Arm's feeling better. So, I'm not comfortable reading your stories like this, but I will do some politics. So, saw this in the comment section of one of my videos, and I figured, hey, it's a real good opportunity to get into this and a little deeper. Ollie, just wondering, what is your actual opinion on Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro? Because I remember you saying that you wasn't a big fan of Ben Shapiro, but you never elaborated on why. I'm just wondering if you could elaborate a bit, because I used to be a fan, but I've kind of gone off Crowder a bit, not because of the whole Vox business, but other reasons. But I'm just wondering what your opinion on both of them. So I want to start here on this topic, and that's on this article. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I suggest you guys do, on Human Events, which I talked about this website, and it's by Will. And Will makes, the argument that a lot of these guys are what is known as, peacetime conservatives, okay, as opposed to a wartime conservative, taking the idea from this clip from Godfather.
You're not a wartime consigliere, Tom.
So that's when Tom Hagen gets removed from consigliere because the Corleones are at war. You're not a wartime consigliere. I need a wartime consigliere, and it's a brilliant way of framing the argument. It is because it definitely points out a major problem within conservatism, where you have peacetime and wartime conservatives. But that's not what Ben Shapiro is. Okay. Ben Shapiro, and this is what the problem, where I think a bit of a problem could be in this argument is, don't confuse a collaborator with a peacetime conservative. A peacetime conservative to me is someone, who's sticking by morals and say, well, the right doesn't fight like that because then we're just as bad as the left is. That's a peacetime conservative. My problem with the right, and has always been, and I have said this repeatedly, is you can't go into battle with half your army ready to shoot you in the back. And that's who Ben Shapiro is. Ben Shapiro's the guy who's going to give away his position, give away your position, shoot you in the back because he thinks he's better and he thinks he's smarter and he doesn't get his way exactly the way he wants it. Crowder is more of a peacetime conservative. And I like Steven Crowder for the most part. I mean, I think the socialism is for figs to make it look like something else. That's the shirt that people seem to be complaining. I mean, it's just stupid and corny. My big problem with Steven Crowder is, well, two problems. Is he tends to be a bit corny sometimes, okay? And he's a peacetime conservative because he's on CRTV. They got rid of Gavin McInnes right around him when Glenn Beck came in, and he just sat there. He just sat there on his hands. I didn't like the way he fought back. I don't think he defended conservatives getting kicked off of YouTube or on Google that strongly up until it's now happening to him. I mean, he's had issues with content strikes that he's always been able to get removed, okay? But when Gavin got deplatformed and then they threw him off CRTV, which he's on, and he didn't say anything about it, that's where I'm like, you're not a fighter. I wouldn't call him a collaborator, but that's more of a peacetime conservative. This is why I don't like Ben Shapiro, and I don't like him for a lot of reasons, but here's where my dislike started with Ben Shapiro. It started when Ben Shapiro was still working for Breitbart, and he didn't like Steve Bannon, he didn't like Trump. And what Shapiro did was, if you remember this incident between Corey Lewandowski and Michelle Fields, who was another Breitbart reporter, where she claimed that Corey Lewandowski assaulted her when he reached out to separate her from Trump as Trump's walking through the gaggle. You can't just run up to a presidential candidate. And Ben Shapiro acts like Michelle Fields was assaulted in this video. She went and had him arrested. And let's look at the video. It's only 1:10. No sound on it. That's it. He's going past her. She had him arrested for assault for that. With Ben Shapiro's help. With Ben Shapiro supporting the narrative that Corey Lewandowski somehow assaulted Michelle Fields. People seem to forget what Ben Shapiro did. He was trying to shoot the MAGA coalition in the back as early as this. And he said right after it happened, "You're totally delusional. I never touched you." Okay? He's reaching out, pushing past her, as that is his job to protect the President of the United States. But Ben Shapiro hated Steve Bannon and Trump so bad. And this is what she does. She shows this right after. I guess these magically appeared on me. So weird. Let me tell you something. I have a fractured elbow. My bruising still hasn't come out yet. You're telling me that caused that amount of bruising within an hour? Or it was a very short period of time of when that picture was taken. Look at it. Look at where the dark mark is and goes down. That's self-inflicted. She did that to herself, if anything. But that wasn't done by Corey Lewandowski. Yet, Ben Shapiro goes and supports the narrative that is somehow assault, indicative, needing for Corey Lewandowski to be arrested for assault. That's a collaborator. That is somebody who will shoot you in the back. That is somebody you can't go into battle with. That's beyond peacetime conservative. That's somebody who's giving away your position. That's somebody who will knowingly lie and give away your position to hurt you because he believes. And here's the thing. I didn't think Ben Shapiro was a supremacist in any way. And I know he gets called that, okay, by people on university campuses and all that. And here's the other thing with him, okay? Try debating somebody who's not a 19-year-old college student. We saw what happened when he tried to debate an actual adult on the BBC, and he got smashed. He got smashed and walked out of the interview like a child. Collaborators. That's what collaborators do. That's not peacetime. That's collaboration. So I just saw this clip yesterday. Now, Jimmy Dore is a left-wing comedian, but he's been very honest as far as Trump, Russia, Mueller goes. Okay? He's a guy that I watch a lot of his stuff. I don't agree with a lot of his politics, a lot of his socialism, but at least I know he's coming from an honest place. You know? Because at least he's not going on like Trump's a treasonous traitor that collaborated with the Russians. I mean, he could see it for what it is. Like, no, that's ridiculous. He's not voting. Jimmy Dore is not voting for Trump ever, because he knows, and ultimately the Mueller investigation is going to help Trump. So this is a clip of Shapiro on Dave Rubin's show, who I like a lot. I think he's another honest player and came off the Young Turks, who I don't like. But he's gone a lot more to the center, a lot more right-leaning. Dave Rubin is gay. He's married to another man. So like he's an openly gay married guy who, you know, believes in internet freedom, and he has open discussion. He'll basically talk to anybody. He'll have open discussions with anybody. So this is a clip from the show, and I just saw this yesterday. So that's why the comment is perfect, because it blew my mind. It blew my mind on Shapiro.
Is.
I love him.
So he goes on this show with Dave Rubin, who I used to work with at the Young Turks. He's a very affable guy when you meet him, and he's very charming. And but he's trying to get Ben Shapiro to like him, and it's not going to happen. Well, watch this. This is kind of funny.
So Dave does these, not Dave, Jimmy does these live shows in these bars or theaters where he breaks down politicians and political speeches. He usually has the same panel there. He talks a lot about narcissism and gaslighting, and I figured out why a couple weeks ago. I'll show you.
Will you bake Rubin a wedding cake? Okay, so I mean, my answer is.
Well, I'm married already.
Right, he's married already.
But an anniversary. It was my anniversary last week. An anniversary cake would have been nice.
Right. So the answer is no, and the reason.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that, because everybody knows Ben Shapiro's an Orthodox Jew, heavily religious. They don't believe in it. Fine. You know, that's a religious objection. I get it. I get it. Fine, whatever. Would I bake it? I don't care. Like, you want to marry? I've made my position on gay marriage clear. I don't care. I don't care. Because ultimately, I want to change family and divorce court laws in here. And the only way you're going to do that is if we start getting some gay divorces going through divorce court. Like, then you'll get some equality. Because right now, and I've made that in a different video, subject for another video. Okay? I don't care. I get it. He's an Orthodox Jew. He's heavily religious. He wouldn't want to I have no issue with that. None.
And I won't is because as a religious Jew, I do not participate in activities that I believe are sinful. But again, we live in a free country, and Dave knows this. What? He doesn't have to care what I think about sin.
If we were having an anniversary party, would you come? If I was inviting all the crew that we all know, and we were just an anniversary party, we're just having a party, and I'll even throw in some kosher food for you to make sure you don't have to bring your own.
You know, honestly, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think.
Now it's not like you got an anniversary party. Okay. It's not the wedding ceremony. It's not like, now it's like I have to think about it. See, this is what collaborators do. Like, collaborate. What are you offering? This isn't peacetime conservative. This is a collaborator finding out, well, what are you offering? Maybe I will turn on my side. Depends what you're offering.
Think about it in the same way.
So that's interesting to me. Yeah, that's a different thing, you know.
By the way, quick.
And to be fair, I've never seen Jimmy Dore take anything out of context. Okay, if he has, because, you know, he's been so honest with the Trump-Russia stuff. You know, he understands the taking things out of context. So if he's trying to take this out of if he took this out of context in some weird way, it'll be the first time. But based on what Ben is about to say, I don't even know what context could make it okay.
Quick note on that. I would also mention that, like, in Judaism, it's not just like gay marriage that's off limits; it's intermarriage that's off limits. So, if a member of my family were to intermarry, marry somebody who's not Jewish, I wouldn't go to the wedding.
Really?
This is like
even if that would, let's say it was your sister, for example. Even though I know she just got married, and I met the guy, and he's a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Even if that would do irreparable damage with your sister?
Well, in my view, the irreparable damage is being done by the fact that, like, if you're brought up with a certain sense of values and rules, and then you abandon those values and rules, then
Fuck that guy. Fuck you. That's supremacy. That's supremacy. He is a supremacist. He is a supremacist. He thinks his values and his rules are supreme to anybody else's. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I get it, being being very religious, deeply religious, but to the point where if you're making value judgments on people's moral fucking character, if they don't want to believe in spiritually the same way you do, fuck you. You're a supremacist. You're a supremacist. People calling him a white supremacist online for all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons. This is the type of supremacist he is. I didn't even know this until I saw it yesterday. I didn't know it until I saw it yesterday. Blew my mind. And now I usually watch a lot of Dave Rubin's podcasts. I'm surprised I didn't see this. If this is taken out of context in some way, I don't know. I don't see how. Because he realized as he was saying how fucked up it sounded. Look, back it up. Hear it again.
Irreparable damage with your sister?
Well, in my view, the irreparable damage is being done by the fact that
he's clarifying irreparable damage.
If you're brought up with a certain sense of values.
He's meaning the irreparable damage is marrying somebody who's non-Jewish. I mean, that's what he's really saying, and that's what he believes. Fuck him. Fuck him. I'm not saying he thinks he's superior because he's Jewish. And I'm not, and that is not a broad brush accusation on all Jews. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about this guy. Fuck him. He should be, for that, I can't believe Dave Rubin sat there and like, wait a minute, what are you saying? Why would you want him around at this point? Like, if that's what he thinks in the back of his mind, that he thinks he's somehow he has some kind of supremacy over everybody else. That's what he's telling you. Fuck him. But then he's going to go and he goes and he tells lies against Corey Lewandowski. That's not peacetime conservatism. That is a collaborator.
And rules, and then you abandon those values and rules, then
So you abandon his values and rules set forth by Judy. So if you marry someone, so what is he trying to tell it? We're just not as good as Ben Shapiro is. He's not a peacetime conservative. He's a collaborator supremacist. And I never thought I would come around to say that and think that about him, because people tell him, they call him a Nazi and a white supremacist and this and that. And he's a religious supremacist, is what he is. He is a religious supremacist. And I didn't even realize that until I saw this yesterday. And that is a fucked up clip. That's why I don't like Ben Shapiro. That and his whole little weird battle with AOC, okay? He's a creep. He's just a creepy little... He's a creep, and I think he looks at her, and when she says, you got an unnatural obsession with me, and it's creep... he is. He's a little hall monitor creep. And I think he wants to pull her pigtails, and I think he has some really... up there. Like, he just comes across as creepy. Okay? Just like he was white knighting for Michelle Fields. So, don't confuse a collaborator for a peacetime conservative. And whatever you do, don't forget these people. Okay? Okay? These people, some of them are collaborators, a lot of them are collaborators, some of them are peacetime conservatives. Glenn Beck is a collaborator. He will stab you in the back for David Barr. I don't know. Brent Bozell, you see him all over Fox News, all over talking about how biased the media is against Trump. Do you apologize for putting his name on this piece of shit? Did David Boaz? I don't know. I don't think so. Glenn Beck, I think, sort of apologized. Did he apologize specifically for this? I don't think so. And I wouldn't believe him anyway, because he'll stab you in the back next chance he gets. Mona Charin, I don't know. Ben Domenech, Mr. Meghan McCain, co-founder of the Federalist, which I love. I hate the fact that he's there, okay, because that is a collaborator, okay? Did he apologize? For putting his name on this? No. Does he mention his awful wife running her mouth trying to destroy the MAGA coalition at every chance you get? No. He's usually teamed up on Fox News with another left-wing sociopath, Philippe Rines, both of which will have me blocked on Twitter, by the way. Hilarious. Eric Erickson, collaborator. They actually had to take Red State. They fired him from Red State. You ever apologize for putting his name on this hunk of shit? Nope. Stephen F. Hayward, Mark Halperin, Mr. Me Too. Okay. Bill Kristol in the sinking Bulwark. I mean, how many torpedoes can you take to the side, man? Mr. Cruise ship conservative collaborator. Cruise ship conservatives are the worst collaborators. They're the worst collaborators, out there in the middle of the ocean collaborating. Dana Loesch, Miss NRA, another phony. Another complete and total phony. Phony. I hate that she's the face of the NRA. I hate it. Because I remember when she was a nasty liberal way back when. She apologized for this. As Trump tries to defend the NRA and the Second Amendment and everything, she apologized for putting her name on this. Andrew McCarthy, you see him all over Fox News defending against the Mueller report. To a certain extent, he only goes so far. Do you ever acknowledge putting his name on this? Nope. He's more of a peacetime conservative. Dana Loesch is a collaborator. Andy McCarthy's a peacetime conservative. David McIntosh, Michael Medved, Edwin Meese, Russell Moore, any of them retract any of this? Nope. Michael B. Mulcahy, you see him all over the place now too. Did he admit he was wrong? Katie Pavlich. See her all over Fox as well. Don't forget who signed their names to this. I look more at Katie. She's a young girl. I mean, I think she was 28 when they got her to put her name on this. But she should acknowledge she's wrong. She's a peacetime conservative. Didn't understand the fight. Didn't understand the battle. These older guys, McIntosh, Medved, Meese, Moore, Mulcahy, are collaborators. No, Mulcahy's more of a peacetime. The other ones are collaborators. John Podhoretz. Gay slurs on Twitter, how to run away. Collaborator. R.R. Reno. Thomas Sowell is the most depressing name on here, because he's a brilliant economist. Brilliant. But he was wrong. Did he admit he was wrong? Cal Thomas, another Fox News guy, admitted he's wrong? No. Don't forget these people. Don't forget who these people are when they're running around. It has to be defined, because we cannot go into this election. We cannot go into 2020, okay, unless we define who's a peacetime conservative and who's a collaborator. Because the collaborators give away our position and shoot us in the back every time. Ben Shapiro is a collaborator. Ben Shapiro is a religious supremacist. That's why I don't like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is, just he's the worst of the worst. He really is, as far as our side, because what he is he's like, if you could take Bill Crystal. There was a movie, Free Jack. It's just a shitty movies in the 90s where rich people would go back in time and steal people's bodies right before they legitimately died, so they can transfer their old mind into the new body. Okay, I feel like that's who Ben Shapiro is. He got free jacked from Bill Crystal. And that's supposed to be the future of conservatism. Crowder, on the other hand, is a peacetime conservative, and I didn't like the way, I find him a bit corny, and I didn't like the way he defended the other deflatforming up until they came for him. So that's as much as I can do on these painkillers. So I hope this wasn't too rambling, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, because this is important if you're on MAGA. Okay, you have to understand, okay, who the collaborators are, because the collaborators are the ones that turn on us and shoot us in the back every time. That's Ben Shapiro. And I never would have thought he was some sort of supremacist, but clearly he is. He clearly walks around thinking he's better than anybody who's not his version of Orthodox Jewish. Fuck that guy. We should all be like, the entire right should be like, you know what? Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you. We don't want you deplatformed, okay? But we don't want to be associated with you anymore. Disavow. Let me know what you think, everybody. And if you'd like to get in on the queue, if you'd like to have your story read on the channel, if you'd just like to make a contribution to keep everything supported and the lights on and keep the channel supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all this goes away. You know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Wow, my head is spinning right now. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.